So it's the signing that all Liverpool fans, well, 99% of Liverpool fans wanted. They wanted to see a goalkeeper. They wanted a goalkeeper that could be seen as world-class, and they wanted it done and dusted. Last time I spoke to Chris Pajak, who joins me right now from the Redmen TV, we were talking about that, and he said it needs to be done now. He's had his chance, Karius. Well, he's had a tricky pre-season, and now it looks like Allison Becker is the new goalkeeper of Liverpool, and it's going to be a world record fee, 66.8 million quid. Wow. It's a lot of money for a player who's had one season as the number one at Roma. Let's talk about it now then, Chris. Your initial reaction?
I'm absolutely buzzing, mate, first and foremost. I think every Liverpool fan knows, and fans of every single club around the world know that Liverpool's goalkeeper position has been horrendous for some time. I think as a fan, I can think back to even going as far back as when the Premier League started, right? There's only really been 3 years where we've been absolutely top drawer at goalkeeper position. I think, we had 3 really good years from Pepe Reina and 1 not so good year, maybe 2 not so good years, and he definitely dropped off and stuff when he lost his goalkeeping coach. Before that, you think back to the likes of David James. We've had goalkeepers that win trophies, like Dudek wins the Champions League, but he was never consistent. We've had Sander Westerveld, who won the treble with us in 2001, but we got rid of him the next season because we weren't fully in on him, and it's been a problem position. And we've had a problem at centre back since Sami Hyypiä and Jamie Carragher stopped playing together, and we've gone out and spent 75 million on Virgil van Dijk, broke the world record transfer fee for a defender, and now we've just broken the world record transfer fee for a goalkeeper. Liverpool are back at the big boys table, and we're kind of whipping our cock out, mate, and we're just showing people that Liverpool are back.
Absolutely. 25 years old. He's been at Roma for 2 years. Szczesny was the main man for that first season, but then last season, 37 games. And I think what's a massive point to say is going into a World Cup, Brazil had 2 quality goalkeepers. One who was undoubtedly the best actually, dare I say it, up there with David De Gea as the best goalkeeper in the Premier League last season. But Ederson had an amazing season. Couldn't even get in the side with Brazil. So the one thing that I wonder about with him, though, is that with Karius had a really great season, really great couple of seasons. Then he went to Liverpool and couldn't deal with it. What's going to be different with Alisson? He's had a few years at Internacional, but at Roma he's only had 1 good season.
I think that you never truly know with a goalkeeper, do you? Yeah. But we are buying who everyone around world football considers definitely in the top 10 of goalkeepers. Most people would probably say he's in the top 5 of the goalkeepers in the world. Now, it is, as I said before, it's a problem position. You never truly know, but he's been able to do it on a big stage before. I think back to that game where Barcelona absolutely hammered Roma. Was it 4-1 in the first leg? He made 9 saves in that game, James, and I've watched them back recently. That's why it's bubbling at the top of my brain. There's some top draw saves from some top draw players, Lionel Messi. Some of those saves and Luis Suarez that he's made, and these weren't easy saves. And you actually think to yourself, they wouldn't have been in the game. They wouldn't have had a chance at one of the best comebacks last season without him there. And his distribution's amazing. He's got great reflexes, and I think that's the one thing that I've learnt most, having studied him for the last few weeks intensely, is that his reflexes are brilliant. And I don't think that matters when you move. I think your reflexes are the reflexes. He makes good decisions, and he makes good decisions in small windows of time. So, when you see a goalkeeper charging out, sometimes, I'll give you an example, Simon Mignolet for us, he's a faffer. He sort of half goes, he comes back, and then he'll run out, and it's too late. When he makes a decision, Alisson, rightly or wrongly, he goes, and he trusts his instincts, and I think that's really important for a goalkeeper at Liverpool, because you want to inspire confidence. You want to know what your defenders want to know what your goalkeeper's going to do, and I think everybody will know exactly what Alisson's going to do at all times.
Going back to the guy that's probably not going to be playing for Liverpool much anymore and might even move on, Karius, is there any part of you that feels like this is slightly harsh on Karius? Because before that Champions League final, people were saying this guy has stepped up in the second half of the season and become the goalkeeper that everyone was hoping it would be.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I flip-flopped on this all summer long, to be honest, James. I mean, straight after the Champions League final, I was like, get him out of our club. I do not want him anywhere near there. Then the concussion stuff comes out, and you're starting to think to yourself, I watch a lot of American sports. I know how serious concussion is. I don't believe for a second that, doctors from America are going to be putting this out about Loris Karius, and I've seen that. People saying, oh, it's faked and all that. I just don't believe that doctors put the reputation on the line for this. It just seems weird. So I trust that the concussion stuff was real. But then having seen him in pre-season again, and the moans and the groans, and we've been at Blackburn. We'll be at Blackburn. We've been at Bury. We've been at Tranmere when he's made these errors, and we've been at Chester and stuff. And he's getting bantered by fans of these clubs, James, and fair play to them. I'm not having, and no disrespect to them, but what's it going to be like when he's playing in Old Trafford in the Premier League or the Etihad or one of Arsenal or anything like that? I mean, can he mentally stand up to that? And the psychology of it, I find really interesting. I think, unfortunately, Klopp's going to have been looking into the whites of his eyes during pre-season, and I think there might not have been enough of a man looking back at him. And I think that's why Klopp's made his decision. He probably wanted to look at him in pre-season, see what he was like, see how he is mentally, and then make a decision. And that kind of looks like what's happened, James.
And a goalkeeper, that position, it's unique in comparison to anywhere else on the pitch, where you can hide at times. You can kind of get through 3 or 4 games and then get back to the level that you want to. A goalkeeper is so glaring, and I think we've seen it. I bet every person watching this video right now, they can think of another goalkeeper who something happened or 2 or 3 things happened and then that was it. And once you kind of cross that line, then sometimes it's best just to move on. And I think you're right there. And also, the final thing I want to talk about with Liverpool is Alisson joins Fabinho and Keita, Shaqiri as well, who's come in and has done it at Premier League level and might not start for you. But this is serious intent with Liverpool. The expectations were probably going up already, especially after last season. What are the expectations now for Liverpool for this season? This is huge.
From the fans' perspective, they want us to challenge for the title, and I think Liverpool fans always want us to challenge for the title, but seems to be a real belief. We've probably got one of the best spines that we've ever had. Certainly for the last 10 years, when you think of Alisson, you think of Van Dijk, you think of Keita, Fabinho, Henderson, Firmino, Salah. I mean, this is more than the spine now, do you know what I mean? We're getting lads across the pitch who are almost world class in most departments. And even just 2-3 years ago, there wasn't really a world class player at Liverpool. Phil Coutinho was skating on the edge, but he never really did it consistently for a season up until last year, where every game he played for us, he was at a world-class level. And then you've got the likes of Sadio Mane coming in, Robertson stepping his game up and stuff, and you've got to think to yourself, the reason I personally believe we didn't win the Champions League is because we didn't have the strength and depth. And, Klopp seems to be learning on the job here. He's had 2.5 years, hasn't he? He's had 2 full seasons at the helm of Liverpool Football Club now, and each year he's kind of changed what he is that he's doing. So last season, I'll give you an example, he started to rotate heavily, because the season before we died a death in January. So last season he rotated more than any other Premier League manager, and come the end of the year we were still in a couple of competitions, but at the end of it, we had the injuries and stuff, and we didn't have the strength and depth. So he seems to have rectified that. He's learning, and I think the other thing is, you can think back to those quotes. I think if you're on social media, you'll remember these, James, about how if he had the money, he wouldn't spend the money and all that, when he was talking about like the spending of Manchester City and stuff. Now, with the greatest of respect to Klopp himself, I think he's realised that to compete with the likes of Manchester City, you kind of have to. This isn't a league that he won in the Bundesliga, where you've got to beat one team, and if you beat that one team, you're the league champions. This is a strong league, the strongest league in the world, with 6 teams vying for the title legitimately almost every season. And unfortunately, you kind of have to spend big. Otherwise, you're just going to keep spinning your wheels, and Liverpool have backed him. And I think Klopp's buying the right players.
Yeah, so I mean, look, it's a good day to be a Liverpool fan. Allison Becker, it's an agreed deal. Looks like it's definitely going to go through. You've now got that goalkeeper that you're asking for. If you want to check out any more reaction to this, then head over to the Redmen TV and go check out Chris's channel there. But let us know your thoughts on Liverpool. What does this mean for this team? What are they doing next season? Where are they going to finish? What do you think about Alisson? Let us know in the comments below. Like this video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to Ball Street, and we'll see you soon.